Welcome to Today in Nerd History. Calling Dr. Love was released as a single February 13th, 1977. Calling Dr. Love is a song by American hard rock band Kiss, originally released on their 1976 album Rock and Roll All Over. A live version of the song was included on Alive 2, released later in 1977. Since then, Calling Dr. Love has appeared on numerous Kiss compilation albums. In 2003, it appeared on Kiss's fifth live album, Kiss Symphony Alive 4. Calling Dr. Love was also featured in the set list of the Alive 35 World Tour in 2008. The Canadian 8-track tape version of the song is extended by about 55 seconds with a smoothly edited in repeat of the guitar solo. It was written by bassist Gene Simmons, who sings lead vocals on the songs, at a Holiday Inn in Evansville, Indiana. The song's title came from Simmons' recollection of the Three Stooges film Men in Black, which contained a hospital intercom announcement calling Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard. The song was the second single released from the album and the band's fourth U.S. Top 20 single, reaching number 16 in Billboard. The Star Trek The Next Generation episode, When the Bough Breaks, aired February 13th, 1988. In this episode, a planet that was able to cloak itself for thousands of years suddenly reveals itself, with its inhabitants proposing peace. But after initial negotiations, children of the Enterprise are kidnapped due to the infertility of the inhabitants of the planet. The Star Trek The Next Generation episode Tapestry aired February 13th, 1993. In this episode, after being attacked on an away mission, Captain Picard dies and meets Q in the afterlife, who offers him the chance to change a crucial moment in his history and prevent the mistakes he made in his youth. The Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode, Paradise, aired February 13th, 1994. In this episode, Sisko and Chief O'Brien discover a colony which lives without technology. The Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode Destiny aired February 13th, 1995. In this episode, Sisko faces a conflict between his Starfleet duties and his role as the Bajoran emissary when an ancient Bajoran prophecy predicts a joint Federation Cardassian project will lead to the destruction of the wormhole. The Star Trek Voyager episode, The Cloud, aired February 13th, 1995. In this episode, the crew of the Voyager enters what they think is a nebula, but discovered it is a life form injured by their entry. The Star Trek Enterprise episode, Shuttlepod One, aired February 13th, 2002. In this episode, a routine survey of an asteroid field turns life-threatening when Trip and Reed get stranded aboard the Shuttlepod with only a few hours to find their way back to the Enterprise. The Star Trek Picard episode, Absolute Candor, was released February 13th, 2020. In this episode, the crew's journey to Freecloud takes a detour when Picard orders a stop at the planet Vashti, where Picard and Raffi relocated Romulan refugees 14 years earlier. Remembering Chuck Yeager, born February 13th, 1923, and passed away December 7th, 2020. He was the man who became the first pilot in history confirmed to have exceeded the speed of sound in level flight. Remembering Susan Oliver, born February 13th, 1932, and passed away May 10th, 1990. She is the lady who guest starred in the Star Trek episode The Cage as Vina. Happy birthday, Neal McDonough, born February 13th, 1966. He is the actor who played Lieutenant Hawk, the USS Enterprise E helmsman in Star Trek First Contact. Happy birthday, Kelly Hu, born February 13th, 1968. She played Union Admiral Ozawa in The Orville. Well, that's it for today, folks. I appreciate you listening, and if you enjoyed the show, please feel free to tell your friends about little old me here. Have a wonderful day.